Okay.
So, what are we doing? We're basically making a Q&A app for just a cool little product called Reply. And if you've ever used ask.fm or anything similar to that, you want to know how this product works. People basically have profiles, you ask questions, and then you can answer them. And that's pretty much it. We're working with next.js on the front end. We're going to probably be building that in this live stream and not worrying about the back end for now.
Yeah, I guess we can do the back end in a different stream.
Yeah, exactly. We've set up like a really standard Next sort of layout where you have a pages document with an index and it's just got hello world, and then we've got this document which wraps some styled component stuff in so that we can use styled components on our document and have some global styles. We really haven't done much, and I can show you that we just have this hello world, and the finished product is going to look something like this. So we're going to have a header, a sidebar or two sidebars, and then a place where you can ask a question. This is someone's profile. So
do we have a home page, like a landing page?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would just land on your profile, and then you'd see the questions that you've been asked, and then you can go to other people's profiles. I don't think there's
there is no home page.
I don't think there's like a sort of like
okay, yeah, makes sense.
like a feed, because
before you create an account, there should be a landing page, right?
Yeah, there'll be like a sort of this
but there's
like
no
sign in with Twitter.
Wait, here, like that's just the pro. Yeah, so there's no feed. There's no like you can subscribe to other people's profiles or anything.
Not yet.
Super simple.
Super
okay.
simple.
Alright,
because you would just link people in the Twitter like, hey, come ask me some questions, here's my URL, and they go to it and they'd ask.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be logged in because they can ask anonymously.
Okay, so maybe
Ooh, that was weird.
where to start? I guess we can start by making the header, because you make that as like a component, right?
Yeah.
And then we just put that on every page, because every single page has that header, then the whole site.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, even if you're not signed in, you can still like view it and everything. And then look, it says create page. So it's like, rather than an account, it's a page that you're creating, because the account doesn't actually do anything. It's just the one page.
Yeah, although both of these buttons are going to do the same thing, right? Create a page and sign in. Like it's just
create. Oh yeah, true. I guess when you're not signed in, that's the case.
It's going to be this basically. Oh, I guess we can just do two different modals which have the same button.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. So there's no one viewing the stream, so
there is just one person. Yeah, but because this is you, I don't think it counts. Because previously it said 0 there.
Okay. Maybe there is someone viewing the stream. Awesome. Hey, whoever it is.
Hey, man. Wait, what's
or girl.
Oh, it's up there.
Or non-gender.
Hey,
God.
Hey, person. How's it going?
Correct. Alright, so I'm going to create a new like components folder where I'm going to keep...
Oh, we have 2 now. It's
hey.
well.
Keep saying hey because people love it.
Hey, new person who just joined the stream.
The Steam. Gonna make some nice Steam.
How's it going? If you want to have a chat, just throw us a message.
Oh yeah. Please ask questions because it's...
look, he's talking.
Yes,
you. We're saying hi directly to you right now. SCW fan 06. Are you ready to learn how to make a website in Next.js? I hope you are. That's what we're going to show you right now.
You can be chatting to the audience because...
yeah, I'm like the presenter and you're like the meat of the show. We got an error.
Yeah,
error!
When I have my stream deck, I'm going to have some sounds go off that I can like press when that happens. Like, a big button.
That's going to be cool. Well, no, we can rig it up automatically so it plays the sound when the light goes on.
Yeah, so basically every time there's a syntax error, so you can see I haven't included any content in here, so it's got this red underline. If I like save, then the room is going to flash red. And basically lets me know there's an error and gives you something to look at. So
dynamic.
Yeah, we're gonna import some styles here. Like, how I like to do these custom styles is I like to create a new file called styles. And
right. So each component is a folder, and then in there you have one which is basically the HTML and one that's basically the CSS.
Yeah.
But of course everything is JavaScript because we live in this world where you don't need anything apart from JavaScript to do
Exactly.
anything now.
And then we're just gonna export a const of like container, which will be like the header container. I guess I could call it a header container.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it header.
Okay.
And then you do like styled and then dot the like.
So this is a div. Oh, there's a header component.
Well, yeah,
already.
this is just like any HTML element. So you could do like an anchor tag.
Yeah.
or
I
like
didn't know there was a
span,
HTML element
or
or header though.
Yeah,
What is it?
HTML5 header.
But what does it do?
It's basically just like a div,
It's
but
just a div.
it allows like Google and people to know that this is the header of your
okay.
page.
So it just contains some metadata. It doesn't behave any differently than a div.
No.
Okay, fine. That's cool.
Um,
Alright, so we could probably set the height to be like
yeah, I'd
some
like.
number of pixels.
I like to just. I
Oh,
like to
you
just
wanna
like
get
define
it on the page first, and then we'll
Yeah,
start
and then we could
styling it.
import the header from
Right, okay. I see.
styles, and like I feel like
Okay.
this like reads quite nicely. And then obviously we can't have two things named header, so I normally name this like
Okay.
custom header, and then,
Right.
and then you use it like a React component, and then it's like this is the header,
Right, okay, and the styles are contained. Right, okay.
like this. Yeah.
So the header component is just the styles, and then custom header contains the content,
Yeah, exactly.
and then we export that
like
as the component.
quite a lot of people I've seen do like styled header.
Yeah, that's kind
and
of what I
call
was
it like
thinking would
this.
make more sense. Yeah, because custom header like doesn't really mean anything.
Okay.
This works.
In that case, we'll do
Why
that.
is that underlined red?
Because it
Oh, because
doesn't
it's
exist.
not called that. Okay, cool. Alright, so
Okay, and then at the moment we're not going to import it globally. We're just going to throw it like up here. We're just going to say like header, and then import it.
Jet.
Jetter.
Yeah, the way you type is so funny. You're like, you're so fast that you like make mistakes and correct them just like super quickly. It's really weird.
I think it's just how normal. Like touch typing is weird because you see the mistakes you're making, so you're just
Yeah, you're instantly correcting them. Yeah, it's like I type out like a whole sentence and then I go back and fix the errors.
Yeah. Okay, stream is going good. Now that we've changed the frames per second down and we're not trying to record like a
everything's smooth.
60 frames per second 5K game.
Yeah.
It's
Alright, guys watching the stream, if you have any issues with reading the code on the screen, in the terminal, any audio problems, just put a message in the chat and
yeah. If you want us to turn the music off, like if it's distracting or something.
yeah, anything will fix it because we don't really know exactly what experience you're having right now, so just let us know.
Yeah.
All right, sick. So the header works.
Yeah. So we got this header.
Right, sick side Joe. It's ready to publish.
Yeah, ready to go live. Okay, so yeah, now let's actually make it look a bit like the header we have.
Alright, so yeah, it's quite easy. We can just have like one big container, which
Yeah.
is like justify content space between, and then
Flexbox.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
you
we
got it.
have, and then this thing on the right will be like another container that may contain the profile or may contain those two buttons,
Yeah.
depending on whether the user signed in or not.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, what I normally... So I wouldn't ever put a height on an element like this.
Why?
Because, say, if you're working like responsive,
Yeah.
when you like push it down, like move it down to like a mobile screen, some of these things may stack on top of each other.
Alright, so it just will take the height of whatever's inside it. So
Yeah, it's better
the button
just-
has a height and the search field has a height.
Yeah, it's better just to find the thing that is like the biggest thing in this search bar, so like in this header bar,
Mhm.
like this search bar for example, and then just work out what the padding on the top and bottom is.
Okay, so then we just have padding on the header.
Yeah, so
Alright.
I can see that this header should just have a padding top and bottom of 10 pixels.
Okay, that works. But it wasn't 10, it was 9 and 11.
Yeah, but I mean, they
You're not-
obviously
you're
meant
not, You're
10
not
pixels.
doing pixel perfect design, Joe. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, well, I mean,
But yeah, I think that's better. I agree with you.
then it's perfectly centered.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
looks
cool.
to me like we've got a max container here. Like the site should never
yeah.
be wider than
So
1,000.
the whole site exists
But-
in a container.
But I'm thinking because
But it has such an arbitrary width, 1, 3, 2, 8.
because of that, I'm thinking that it's actually
A padding.
Yeah, it's actually like a completely
A window
fluid,
padding. Yeah.
and then
so
it
too,
has
yeah.
just like
These-
50 pixels either
Yeah,
side.
so the profile and the sidebar will just stick to the side
Yeah.
of the.
But what I would do is
the
I'd
window.
make another component for a
yeah,
container.
yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
And then it's just going to be like literally exactly.
Yeah,
the same
and then
as
every
we've done.
page is in the container, and then the header is the first thing in the container.
Yeah, although every page isn't in the container, like so the container will be within the header, and the reason for that is like you see this header has a border bottom. If it was inside a container, it would
yeah,
stop it.
true. Yeah, I didn't think about that border. Okay, so yeah, every
Yeah.
element is is in its own container.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Oh, that silence. So styled container,
Okay.
and this is a div. Or you could have like HTML5 section, you know, like.
What? So again, what's a section? Because I've seen people use this before, and I've been like, I don't understand the difference in a section and a div, so I just use div.
So basically, before HTML5, things were like tables, divs,
Yeah, I
and
remember
like they don't
tables,
have any
yeah.
like specific names. But
Yeah.
now, since HTML5 comes along and Google's like and other search engines are smarter, they can read the tags. So
They want you to be
section
more
is-
specific about what you're doing.
yeah, a section is kind of like the new div, and then you can even have like an article for like if there's like a section
wow.
of text, and then Google knows that like if you're like in a reader mode of the browser, that's like an
yeah.
article and
Alright,
things
that's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
So you can.
I'm
do-
thinking a section is more like, you know, on landing pages, you have like, it's normally split into kind of rectangles where it's like a bit of text, a couple images, and then it's like another topics underneath. I'm thinking those are sections, but then if you just have like a button or whatever, like that's a div. And like the way you're laying out things on the
Well,
within
a button is a button.
Right, yeah, whatever. But you know what I mean, like a small element is just a div.
Yeah.
But if it's, yeah, a whole section of like with some content in it, you would use sections to divide your content.
Yeah, but I just use divs mostly,
Yeah.
and then for like things like headers and footers, I use like the header element and the footer element. But most of the time, I use divs. Like,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah. Now we need to import the style container from styles. And then this is just going to have the React dot children to array
Ooh.
pass in the children. Do you not know what this does?
Right, yeah, I think I got it. So yeah, just all of the children of this component converts them to an array.
Yeah,
seems fine.
that's pretty much it.
Okay.
We should always define prop types.
Alright, yeah, of course, yeah, I remember this.
So we need to.
This is why ESLint is good, because it reminds you of this kind of shit.
Need to bring in some prop types. Is the frame rate going to drop now that we're doing this?
Yes.
But only to like
Only a little
20s,
bit.
right?
Yeah, I think it's because we lowered the bitrate.
Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah.
What
that's-
error? You didn't do anything.
This is erroring because I've done like half of
you
things.
changed something.
Yeah. Okay, so now we need to do like container.prop types. And then we need to say like a children is the prop type of node is required. And that's just like a React node.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so basically what this means is that I can import that header, that component even, like container from, why didn't that autocomplete for me? Oh, because I need to, and then I can have container in here,
Okay.
and then wrap whatever I want in.
Yeah, in the container.
Yeah.
Alright, cool, makes sense.
And then yeah, this is just then basically all elements here, like if I had a div and then something else, it would just be rendered into sort of an array. And you know, like right at the start, I kind of, with that fragment thing, I started out with
Yeah.
arrays. Like
Yeah.
it just basically converts into that
Okay.
and adds like the index for keys and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so now let's actually add some styles. So it's just like padding left and right of 50 pixels. And really we should probably be putting these stuff in like a themes document, so you should have like site padding of like 50 pixels. Just because then if we ever want to like change it anywhere, we just change it in this one file and then it changes. Like instead of having to go into like components, container, styles, we can just go
Oh, I see what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, let's do that.
and then we can just do theme.site padding. And it's kind of a bit more like it explains what this padding is doing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, makes
It's
sense.
just a lot easier. Okay, so now we should be padded left and right.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, good
Cool.
stuff.
So now let's add that border that we talked about. That's why we didn't do everything in.
Okay.
I don't really use Figma very often, so I don't really know how.
That's what I normally use, to be honest.
Alright, how would you export this border bottom?
So go to the code tab.
Oh, there's a code tab.
Yeah. There you go. There's a CSS.
Oh, cool.
It's actually a shadow.
They
It's
use a
not.
shadow.
It's not a border. Okay, let's go with that.
I mean, I just.
A 1 pixel shadow. Or are you just gonna make it a border?
Yes.
Okay. Why not do it as a shadow?
Because I just feel like this is easier, right?
I don't know. Easier would have been copying and pasting the code.
Yeah, but it's just that one line. Like, I don't know what this transform matrix like is. I don't want to go into the matrix. So, there you go, it's done.
Okay, yeah, it looks fine. Alright, cool. So that's we got that padding as well and everything.
Yeah. So like then also in the index, this is also going to want to be wrapped in a container. So we can just.
But then you're wrapping the header in a container, and the header has its own container.
Nah, because.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, you're gonna wrap just the hello world in the container. I see.
Yeah, you do see.
Alright, makes sense.
I hate auto closing.
Oh, is that what's happening? I was
Yeah.
a bit confused there.
There we go. Let's see. So we can see that everywhere follows the same pattern. That everywhere has 50 pixels below. Like the header basically has a margin border of 50 pixels everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, we can add that then.
Not like I need some more conversations happening.
We need more viewers. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need a more interesting title. Or a
Yeah.
cool thumbnail. Can you add a thumbnail to a live stream? That's the current thumbnail, I guess.
Yeah.
It's probably just automatic.
God damn it.
Who is our one viewer? Hey, viewer. Can you post something in the chat so we know you're alive?
Yeah, this trooper is viewing.
Our best friend.
I'm gonna.
Oh, that sound. Everyone who's watching right now, i.e. you, I'm looking right at you. You bet you're real thirsty right now, aren't you? Because you just heard that fresh Coke crack. What was that noise?
I don't like this.
Okay. Alright. So now, yeah, we can just throw like 3 divs inside of the header.
Yep.
And
So
then do like space between
the header should be
Flexbox,
a display flex, and then it should have a space.
Align items center.
Justify content.
Yeah.
Space between. And then align items.
Center. What is happening? Oh god. Oh god.
What's going on? That's what I want
Dude,
to
look
do.
at this. See right here? Next to my
That's a
finger?
little spider.
Yeah, he's like come all the way down from the ceiling.
Okay, let's post this chat link. Let's post this live stream.
What do you mean post it?
Like, let's post it on...
Oh, in some places, yeah, to get people watching.
Yeah, now we've kind of got the ball rolling with you know, we're moving through things.
Yeah, we're in the flow now, like we know what we're doing, so...
How can I get the URL of this? Share.
Yeah, that's the one. Just click
Copy
copy
link.
URL. So we can put it in that big Bobby chat.
Big Bobby chat.
That's what I call it.
Cool. I guess. I'm guessing this live chat is still going to be live even if I've paused the video.
I don't know.
Right?
I guess.
Should be. Like,
I don't know, but why did you pause it? Why not just keep it playing?
because I feel like it's using my internet to stream. Like, I should be using little internet as I can, right?
I don't know. How fast is your internet?
Like,
Do you have
70
fiber?
megabytes per second.
70.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think we can afford to play this.
Well, I mean, the total count is updating, so...
Yeah, true.
Okay, so... Yeah, we want to add... let's add this, like, logo in.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need, like...
Do it.
Yeah, okay. Is that going to be, like, a new component called logo? It's only here,
Nah,
isn't it?
It's just...
a div with some text in it.
Yeah. And it's just...
Or like a span, or I don't know what to make that.
Well, it's a link, because it will be linked back to the...
So it should be an A.
An anchor tag, yeah.
I don't remember how to do links with next.js.
I'll show you. So, basically, links work by you import you do import link from next/link, like this.
Okay. Oh, and link is its own component, is it?
Yeah, and
It's
then
like
you
a
would do
custom
like
A
link
tag.
and then
href, okay.
and then it'll be like that, and then you would put in like reply.
Okay,
But
fine.
you should put like an anchor tag in here,
Why?
as a like
Because of the
basically
styling, or?
no, this link element. I don't really know why it doesn't, because in the old version of like next.js, it used to not need this.
Yeah, because I thought the link is a styled version of the A tag. That's
Yeah, it is.
like not styled, just
But
like with some
I
custom.
I don't know why, but it's just in the docs, and if you don't do it, then it warns you in the console, and it's basically you need to have a clickable element. It doesn't have to be an A tag; it could be a button, it could be, but
Right,
anything
it must be to do with like screen readers and stuff like that, and like
anything that has the on-click property that like
Yeah,
default
yeah,
on
I
it,
got
so
it,
like
yeah.
buttons.
yeah, it makes sense. That's fine.
So yeah, like this. But
But doesn't the A tag need a href? Otherwise, like
no, it doesn't.
okay,
Like it listens to this parent.
okay.
But I mean, you could do. Like ESLint would tell you normally.
This is why if it's in a HTML file, ESLint will have a go at you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I've just turned it off in the rules, in the ESLint
okay,
rules,
because
so-
yeah, you need like a href, and then don't you like? Isn't there kind of like some specific rules about what you should do with A tags and like the properties they should have? So
they only
the
need
browser
like
reads it properly.
they only need like a href that's like not just the pound symbol.
Yeah, I know.
That's it. Like it
Okay,
doesn't need
fine.
like a title or anything like that.
Fine.
But what I'm thinking is a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Is
What's the
that
problem?
so we've got this Flexbox here applied to the header
Yeah. Why is
Right.
that a problem?
because all of our elements are within the container inside the header.
Fuck. Okay, yeah, that's
So-
the problem. This is why I was thinking like it's way easier to have everything in the header rather than
But
everything in the container or the container in everything.
what I like to do is I like to have a class name prop on things. So just the prop types of string. It's not going to be required, so because it's not required, we need to have some default props.
Oh, okay.
and it can just be equal to an empty string. So you can say like class name is like this.
Okay.
And that's basically like when you don't pass a class name in, it's just going to be equal to this.
Right.
And then I like to give it, so yeah, can you pass an array as class names? Surely you can pass it. But
Probably,
anyway,
yeah, probably.
I like to give it like a base class name and then pass in like any more class name it has. Like maybe we could, in fact, we could just do this.
Oh yeah, you can just use a string template. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so then it's got a default like class of container.
Yeah.
So like if we go over here and inspect download.
So now we can just pass a class into the container.
Yeah, if we
it
want
feels
to.
like too complicated though.
No, like that's only if like I only put that there if we wanted to. But like you see, we've got this container class. Now in the header styles, I can just move all of this to .container.
Okay, fine.
So it's just like the container in the header should be a Flexbox.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Like it's
Yeah.
pretty simple.
Yeah, okay, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, we've got a whole four people watching right now. So if anyone has any questions, so we're not just talking amongst ourselves, just hit us up with some questions.
Yeah, we're probably going to be speeding through this quite fast, but we'll stop and slow down if anyone needs it. Like
exactly.
More explanation. So yeah, the situation at the moment is Joe's really good with this. I've done some front end and used next.js a little bit, so I'm kind of asking quite a lot of questions anyway, and trying to get properly understand how this stuff is working.
Yeah. Okay, so this link is like 22 pixels, bold and black. And just trying to think of a nice way to, like,
Nice way to what?
Well, I'm thinking.
Explain your thought process.
So basically, instead of just doing like the anchor tag here and styling it there, I think I'm gonna do another like styled called like logo.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah. So like export const logo.
Yeah,
okay,
like that makes sense. Yeah.
Styled anchor tag.
Yeah.
Like
okay,
this,
and
then this has like font size.
Okay,
22 pixels, and we should probably.
And what the font?
Yo.
Yo, man.
And we should probably have these like in the theme, so like font medium, font large, font, and have all of the font sizes.
That's good. So we're making kind of like a style guide.
Yeah, like a style guide, so that basically if the designer's just like.
And we can have like button widths as well, like button small, button medium, button large, things like that.
Yeah. Hey Tiffany, how you doing? But I feel like for this project, I don't think it needs it. Like, especially as I'm not sure if this design even has a style guide.
Well, let's check the design then quickly and see how many different font sizes there are. Because if there's only like 2 font sizes in the whole app, then it's like easy.
22 pixels again.
Right,
so yeah,
22,
maybe
22. All right, and then.
To be honest, the fact that it's happened more than once is the
it
fact. It
looks to me at first glance that there's about 3 sizes there, 3 or 4.
Okay, so
let's just do
this
that.
is the stuff that I get kind of annoyed or confused about. What do you name font size 22?
Well, it depends what it's being used for.
Yeah, because it's not H1, right? Because it's only 22 pixels. H1s should probably be more than that. So it's more just like.
But it's not really being used as a heading either, because this isn't a header and neither's that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I would just name it like font large. This is the biggest font on the site, right? So just like font.
There might
large.
be a bigger one somewhere. Yeah. Like
this one.
Is
all
like
right, and that's font extra large. There it is.
Yeah, but see, like naming things large and extra large, like then the designer comes along and they add a bigger font. Then you're like, oh, now I need to change all of my other font like variable names so that I can fit in an extra large.
No, because if you have an even bigger one, you just call it extra large. But then I guess if you wanted to create a new one that's somewhere between medium and large, that's a pain because you can't have like medium and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I don't really know, to be honest.
Alright, so I'm just gonna keep the font size in there for now.
But okay, yeah. We'll refactor later on once there's more things.
Yeah.
This is the better way to do it. Like,
yeah,
we're gonna be agile.
And then text decoration. We should probably set this globally to none, but
yeah, probably yeah. Yeah, we can throw that in the global styles for just everything, right?
And then yeah. So now that we've got this like separate logo styled component,
yeah,
we can just import it like here.
Yeah, I see.
Maybe we should have called it styled logo to
fit with the convention. Yeah,
yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's a good idea.
So yeah, we'll call this styled logo.
There, no, it's okay. Yeah.
Like yeah.
Well, I'm thinking styled header makes sense because header is already an element, whereas logo is not an element.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay. Yeah, that's how it goes.
So yeah, that should look relatively similar to our designs. Which it does, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, the header's not going to be as big as it is here because we've got this search bar which we still need to do.
Yeah.
Which pushes it out a bit more.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
and we still need to like have buttons and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Nikhil, how you doing? I hope you're having a great weekend. How long until Christmas? 2 days?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's 1 a.m. now, so yeah, I think today's the 23rd.
It's 1 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Oh, yeah.
It's not 1 a.m. for everyone else.
Yeah, it's just clicked over to the 23rd.
Cool. Okay, so
yeah, let's make this part now.
Yeah, so the cool thing about having this container Flexbox, right, is we can have like the
What are you doing?
My fingers are on the wrong place. So like this would be like
right,
the search bar, and then we'd have like
I see
like button
I see what you
content.
mean. Yeah, okay.
So just so we can see what's
how it's
happening.
gonna be laid out. Yeah, okay.
Which is like,
yeah, it looks good. Man.
Right, this is like exactly what we wanted to have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that looks perfect.
Um,
So that button content one will have to be a bit dynamic and just contain a few things, but
yeah, we could have something that like, yeah, we can have just.
Yeah, depending on whether the user's logged in or not, it just shows different content.
Yeah, like it could
That's
just
not
be
too hard,
as simple as that, or we could have it so that you could like pass it in like a custom prop which overrides it, like a. But
so by default it's something, and if you pass in a certain props, then it's something else.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, we'll see how.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know with this way of doing things like where you would put the control. Like where does the logic go? Does it go in the component itself, or should it go one level up from the component?
Well, if you're using like Redux and stuff, then everything's pretty simple because it's a shared state. So in the header itself, you can just be like, if there's a
Let's
user
look
object,
at the state.
then you can switch.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Whereas like the way I'm probably more used to doing things is you would decide like at the point where you have your data, and then you would pass down that decision to the component.
Cool. So yeah, that.
So let's make the search bar then.
Yeah, this search bar is the next thing. So
it looks like quite a simple element.
Yeah, it's going to be exactly the same as what we've done so far with the header.
Yeah,
it's just like an input component.
Because
Because all inputs are going to look the same.
Well, not really.
Should do, right?
No, because look, this. Oh, well, that's a text area, not an input.
Yeah, this is like an input, right?
Ah, look, this ask a question. But when you click it, it expands out into this text area.
Yeah, but that's all fine. Like these inputs, they all look the same. Right?
Yeah, but I think this search bar is something a bit different. Like obviously the padding is completely different. It has that icon in it and everything.
Yeah, but that's all like custom props which you can pass to like. So you could like have an input and then you pass the prop as center, and then it defines the text center, and then you pass like an icon prop, and then you can have like later on you can have an input for making like a website URL, and then the icon would be like this.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see how you like doing things now, like making super generic components you can customize rather than making a different component for each version of that.
Yeah, basically I look at something and I'm like, how can this be the most scalable version
I
of
see.
itself?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that then. So we can just do this version of it first, and then when we come up,
Yeah,
when we have to
exactly.
make a
And
new
then you just
thing,
like keep adding
Yeah.
ways it can.
add the new props. Okay, makes sense.
Cool. Cool. So this has a border radius of 10 pixels, and then like since that's got a border radius of 10 pixels, now I just have a quick look at other things. This also has a border radius of 10 pixels. This. What do you reckon? Does it have a border radius of 10 pixels?
I don't know. It doesn't say on the side. Yeah. Weird. It's probably in a different box, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what this grouping is. But and then buttons have a different. So yeah, I won't.
It's not a generic
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, we'll just make it specific for now.
Styles, and then yeah, the cool thing about styled components is like for inputs and stuff, you can just do like style.input, and then when you include it, it's like you already have all the input props like on change and placeholder and all of that stuff.
Yeah, true.
So it's quite nice the way of doing.
Yeah.
So we have const styled input equals style.input, and then export this.
Are you enjoying this music? I can't really tell if I am or not.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit.
I am simultaneously enjoying it and not enjoying it.
It's a bit like much, isn't it? But I feel like
I'm feeling pumped to make something. That's the thing. I'm like, go fast.
I feel like if I turn it down or turn it off, this is going to change the mood too
Oh,
dramatically.
completely. Yeah. I've got used to this.
It's got to stay. It's got to stay. Okay, so let's import React.
From React.
Import React from React.
Mad. Dun, dun, dun.
And then, okay, so I don't know what's best to do here, because
What do you mean?
like you could either define each prop which you want to pass the input into a prop types, and like
Yes.
say like you want to pass placeholder,
Yeah.
icon,
Yeah.
all of this stuff,
Yeah.
or you can just pass props as the object and then do like
And then you can just have whatever props
Yeah.
you want.
and then you can have like styled input.
Probably each one individually is better because you're being more explicit about what props are available and what they all should
that's
do.
the path I normally take, but
Yeah.
then sometimes it gets to the point where like I'm just like copying and pasting the prop names like through and through components because it's the same prop name on the input and the prop type and the
So it's cleaner to just pass the whole object through.
yeah.
Yeah. I
but
get what you
in the-
mean. Let's do it like this for now. Like the like having all the names of the props.
Well, I was gonna say we might not want to do that because we want to have custom props for like icon.
Okay.
And center.
Yeah, but
and
isn't
stuff.
it, if you have these custom props, isn't it good to have it explicit, this is a prop that does exist?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking we should then do this. And
Yeah,
like
yeah, we should do the types. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, we
Cool.
should do prop types.
Impert. So yeah, we want to have like maybe we have like is center. I like having sort of like a like an is center or has border or like not just like border or center.
I would do like centered, because that implies that it's like a true or false value, rather than is center, because they both imply the same, like not is, just centered. Because I think it's better to keep it as a single word if you can, because it's like you don't have to do the whole camel case thing.
Okay. And then we'll have like a default props. Default is going to be false, by the way, even though the one that we're using it on is centered.
Default is going to be false. Yeah, okay. That
Because
makes sense,
for
yeah.
most of the inputs, it's going to be
Yeah,
left
yeah, that
aligned,
makes
right?
sense.
Which
That
is the
makes sense.
default.
Okay, so then we have like an icon as well. And I guess if you don't pass the icon, that element just disappears.
Yeah. So the cool thing is with styled components is you can pass in props to styled components like this.
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah.
And then you can access these props by, so we want to change the text line depending if that variable. So we can say props and then we say props.centered
What?
like this. And then we can say if it's centered, then obviously
Yeah.
center
Ah, right. Yeah,
like-
you can have like custom CSS now based off of these JavaScript.
Yeah,
variables.
exactly.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I don't know why we're getting this red underline.
Arrow function used ambiguously with a conditional expression. I don't really know what that means. Let's look up the rule and find the explanation. We can learn together. No confusing error. Yeah, just look it up.
Oh right, is it because we didn't name that the same? No, okay.
Arrow function used ambiguously with a conditional expression.
Let's look it up.
Oh, it's because you need brackets. It's unclear where the arrow is in the expression, so you should put brackets around everything on the right hand side of the arrow.
What, like this?
Yeah.
I feel like that
There you go.
that makes it less clear.
No, because otherwise it's like it's like with a maths expression you have 3 plus 5 times
and
10 divided by
brackets.
11. Like, just it's just the same kind of
Okay,
principle, I
cool.
guess. Because otherwise it could be like this function which returns something else, and then that's the conditional expression. Like, this function is the condition, and then you're going like, if this function evaluates to true, then it's center.
Yeah,
If you get what I mean.
makes a lot of sense.
I feel like me pointing at the screen isn't very dynamic. It's not good for the people watching on the stream.
No, it doesn't.
I wish. Yeah, I don't know if there's a better way to do that.
Right, so let's import this styled input. This centered is declared, but the value is never read. It's because we need to
Give it.
actually
Oh,
pass
right,
the value
yeah,
in.
see, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So now the text align center changes on the input. So like we can just throw that input into the header now and just play around with that prop to kind of show what it does.
Okay, yeah.
So we have put in like an input component, and then we're going to replace this search bar with the input component, and then alright, let's also add like a placeholder text as well. Actually, we don't need to. We can just.
Okay, yeah.
So like we can see like if we type into this, it's left aligned.
Yeah, and then.
If we then do centered,
Yeah.
then it'll be centered.
Sick.
Cool.
Alright, works great. Okay, cool.
And the great
Right.
thing about like sort of being explicit with your prop types is that like as you type it, you
It
can
will
see.
autocomplete and you can see the type and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. So now let's style this input. Like I add heights to inputs. I don't do padding. Unlike the opposite of when I do divs, because
Why?
inputs. Because unless it's a text area, they never go down to 2 lines. So you can't like squish it and then it breaks down to 2 lines because it's not a text area.
It's true, yeah, but why is.
Because
Yeah,
then it's like exactly the same as the design, right? You can just define the height.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so. Because I suppose if you define padding, depending on what font you were using, the height would then be different.
Yeah, exactly. And then because we're doing things like the height of this input changes the height of the header, it's like this needs to be the...
If you change the font, it's going to change everything,
Yeah.
basically, which is really bad. Because the font's going to be different on different platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, okay, it makes sense.
And then this F4, 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 F4. I'm gonna make that into like a colors variable because it's used like everywhere. So how I do colors, I just like make an object.
Colors?
Colors. Let's do
colors dot blue or something like this. Okay,
light
yeah.
grey.
Yeah, this seems like a neat way of doing
Yeah.
things.
Or so like Dan came over the other day and he was like, dude, I've got a great way of laying out colors in CSS, right?
Okay.
And he does things so like I guess I can just do R to make a rectangle, yeah. So he does things like where he has 2 colors and then he labels them. I don't really know his labeling technique at all, but like so like this would be like grayscale 300. This will be grayscale 100, and then there'll be a darker one which is like grayscale like 500.
Right, so it's like you have a font weight.
Yeah, it's like font weights for
like
colors.
a color weight. Okay.
And then what you do is you would do like grayscale, which is an object, and then you have like the 300 or 500, and then that's equal to the color. Do you get it?
Right, yeah. So grayscale dot 300 is.
Yeah, it's like the F4.
It just looks kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I found some cool things which you can do with this. So
it makes sense if you have a lot of scales, but if you only have like 4 colors on your website or something, then it's...
Yeah, but I was doing this with 2 cards the other day, and I was like, each color variation. So we had primary, secondary, like a danger, like red, or next is a successful green.
Yeah.
Each one of them had like from like 100 to 500.
Because then I guess when you have like hover states and stuff, sometimes you darken the background.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can have like shadows which use 100, and then you can just pass in the theme. So you pass in the theme of grayscale, and then it uses the scale of that color.
Yeah, alright, yeah, let's do that. That's pretty cool.
That's cool, great. Right?
But that means for every color you have to include all of the
yeah, like, you should versions. But everything is grayscale on this website.
That's true. Alright, that makes things easy. Then.
Yeah, so I'm literally just...
so we can add all those colors now then, just try and pick out everything. So one looks like an actual black, like reply.
Yeah, so like that'll be the highest one, which I think like is 500.
Dude, have you noticed what you're doing? You know, you keep double clicking the elements, you're creating new groups every time you double click.
Is that what double click does?
Yeah, go back. Look, so double click on that thing again and look here. Oh no, I think it was just opening them up.
Yeah, it's because it's like 4 groups for this one.
I don't really. Well, every time you clicked, it was like adding new groups, I thought. But it's just going deeper into
I was about to say, if
thing.
double click adds groups, I'm not going to be happy.
It's kind of a weird feature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need like a. So I'm guessing this text color.
I don't see it. Yeah, the text color, yeah. Go to code.
It's like an opacity. It's like a 60% opacity. Okay, yeah. Oh. 62. So we have like a really light, which is this background color. We have a really dark, which is this black, and then we have like a medium, which is this text color.
Don't see any other one. Alright, how about the icons underneath elsewhere on the right hand side?
Yeah.
What color are they? Because that might be different.
D9.
Yeah, so that's another one.
Yeah, but that looks lighter.
Lighter than that one, yeah, it is.
So maybe this should be 200.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this should be 100.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay. And then
what's the border color on this?
How about the text underneath elsewhere? Ah, yeah, that border. Yeah, this text. Is that one we have?
It's 50%.
Alright, so that's different again.
Yeah. Let me just see what that is. Yeah, so that's going to be lighter than the other text. This text.
Yes.
Which was this 300. So
we need to move everything up by 1 then.
Yeah.
So this is now 400. And then the one we just put in is now 300.
Yeah. Like
Alright, so now we have a full set.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this border, I'm gonna just. I hope that it's like
one of the ones we already have.
Yeah.
So we don't have to shift everything. It looks really light.
EC. Yeah, this is like the lightest thing on the page, right?
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how similar it's gonna be to this because. But yeah, we could just like be like boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
So yeah, it's gonna be 1 higher. So no, that one should still be 100, and the new color is 200.
Oh, is it lighter?
Yeah, E. Yeah, E is darker than D because it's like higher number, right?
A, B, C, D, E. Yeah.
Because then we have D.
No, but they're closer to F is white. Like FFF is white.
That's true. So then why is the F1 300 and the D1 is lower than that?
I don't know how colors work, man. Yeah, we can just compare these two colors. Oh, it might be like really hard to compare them though, right?
Well, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, I think.
It was this one, wasn't it? This was this.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. That's D9. Yeah.
So that one's darker.
Yeah. So.
Right. Okay. So it is the other way around.
Yeah. See.
Interesting. Weird. Okay, so I guess the number isn't a way of scaling them. You can't know just by looking at the letter.
Yeah. But now that we have this, we can now say that the background color. The cool thing is that Dan like designs these in Sketch, and then he would then label this color
On the side,
of like as 200 like grayscale. So I can just
so
look at it.
This is going to be a bit harder. We have to remember like which one's which.
Yeah. Or we can just have a look. Like, although, what is it? F4, F4. So it's like 300.
Yeah. But we're going to have to reference that every time from looking at the design, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah. But then once things are like coded out and like stuff, it's like,
yeah,
it makes things a lot nicer.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm getting phone call. I'll step out.
Step out the stream room. Colors, dark grayscale, 300. I think that's a nice way of doing it. And then we probably want like a left and right padding of like 25 by the looks of it. Cool, so these inputs, yeah, they're starting to get there. We don't need a border on here by the looks of it for now, and it's got a border radius of 10 pixels. Cool. And then, yeah, as you see, it's kind of got this max width of 400 pixels. So how can we do that? Maybe we can have this with a class name of like search container, and then we can like define in here the search container has a flex of 1, which means it auto expands to like use most of the content area. And I'm gonna turn this music down. I feel like it's a bit too loud. So yeah, the reason why it's appeared over here is because this container is like taking up this, like if we inspect element, yeah, you can see it's basically taking up this entire content area. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that this input is also just making use of the full width of whatever container it's in. So let's just add a width of 100%. So that this input will go like fill up the entire content now, and then we want to make sure that and by the way, the reason why it's like going over this button content is because we have this padding here, and we also have the width of 100%. So in this case, we want to make sure that the box sizing is border box. And this will take into consideration the padding when it's calculating the 100% width. So now it will be between these two buttons. So now in this header we can just be like, so this has a max width of 400 pixels, and then this will kind of be the same width as up here. So you can see that this is starting to look and feel like the header. Okay, so now font size. Font sizes in inputs are just the same as anything else. So this has a font size of 17 pixels and a font weight of medium. Cool, so we'll say font size 17 pixels, font weight is 500. 500 is normally medium, and like 600 is bold. Most fonts though kind of ignore 500 and treat it as if it's like a regular font weight. But I'm pretty sure for San Francisco at least, it's got a medium font weight. So let's pass in a placeholder prop so we can have placeholders. So placeholder is a prop type of string, and it's going to have a just default. I'm pretty sure you could have null in here, because that's like a valid string as well, but I like to just keep it an empty string so that I can like look at this or this and know that it's a string without thinking, because nulls can either be like a node as well, like a React node. So let's just pass in placeholder, and then let's set the placeholder on this to be placeholder. And placeholder is a sort of like a standard input prop, let's say. Like, so all inputs, like imagine this is just like the standard HTML input. Obviously placeholder is just going to pass in the placeholder. So let's go to the header and let's add a placeholder of, so we're just going to copy this text in here. This is going to be like a dynamic username. So like this, and then we should see it appear up here. So we probably want to change the placeholder font color so that it matches this, and I can never remember what this actually is, so let's say CSS placeholder color. There'll be one on like CSS tricks, I'm sure. Yeah, see, I've like looked this up like so many times, I should know it by now, but and I don't even know if I should just use like the WebKit, if I use all of them, but I'm gonna copy all of them and use them all. So I can just do this and then add the and symbol in front of all of these. I'm going to keep the color pink just to kind of show you that it changes the placeholder color, and then I'm going to change it back to what it should be. So yeah, you can see that this placeholder is now pink. I actually quite like this. Like, pink's one of my favorite colors, but let's just see what this color is. See, in my opinion, this designer should have started out with a style guide, because in that case, all of these colors are not going to end up being different, which they currently are. Like, everything's a different opacity to itself. Like, we're adding tons and tons of grays, and I feel like it's definitely not needed. So in this situation, I might like speak to the designer or just kind of take it upon myself to fix this for them. And let's have a look in the themes and see what it's like if we used one darker, so this 400, than the input background for the styles, for the placeholder styles. So let's do the theme dot colors dot grayscale, because I don't want to be adding like tons of different variations of gray, because then it gets messy when you're adding different themes. So like, say if we want to make like a green input or a red input when there's an error, and we want to add these different color variation, color scale themes, we want to make sure there's only like a maximum of like 6, because otherwise it gets a bit annoying. So yeah, I mean, it does look a bit too dark, and in that case we could just add an opacity to these. I'm not sure if this is like really correct. We should just do like 0.8, I guess, which will make it a bit nicer. We could even make like a constant variable up here, but I'm just gonna see, sort of match these up, maybe sort of on 7. Next time change this comment. So yeah, I like think, to me that's probably like that's as close as it needs to be, and that way we've avoided making another sort of text style and another color, which isn't always good. You don't want tons of colors. So next, I guess, is to create these buttons. I'm going to work on adding inputs in a bit later on, or maybe like tomorrow if I start this up again tomorrow, just because there's loads of ways we can do this input. We can even sort of mimic an input sort of container with a div, and then use this to add an icon in. We can use background images, we can do a load of things, and I feel like that could just go on for days if I started worrying about icons now. So I'm just going to create this create a page button by adding another component for buttons. So const style button is going to be style.button. And I guess buttons could also be like anchor tags, but this is where next.js is pretty cool. And earlier on I was talking about this this link component and how this can be an anchor tag, or it can be anything with the on-click prop. So I can even pass a button into here and make it a link, but just by wrapping it in the link component, which I think is pretty cool, because otherwise I'd have to make this button component be able to tell if I'm passing like a href or an on click, and then decide whether it's a button or a link because of that. And I think this is kind of like a bit of a nicer way of doing it. So let's just export this button so that we can use it in our button, and then let's do import React from React, and then let's import this styled button, and then from styles, and let's do const button is going to, and I'm using stateless components for all of this stuff because it's really not like for components that are this simple, like base level style guide components, super just like, yeah, super basic. We're not going to be using state. The only thing that I feel like we might use state for is inputs, maybe, because we could do some cool things with on focus, on blur, where it can affect the elements around it. But we'll get into all of that later. And let's just export default the button, and then let's say this is a styled button. Okie dokie. So I'm going to use the React children like I did in the container. So like I'm just going to copy and paste it because I've already written it out. So this one for just, so like if you want to add in like the button text, you don't have to pass it in for a prop, you can just write it in within the element, and I'll show you what I mean later on. But it just looks a lot nicer when you're writing it out in the code. So as always, you need to define these prop types. And then let's say that the children prop type is a prop type of node, and it is required. Our buttons should always have a sort of label to them. And then we'll just pass in the prop in here, and we're doing object destructurization, or destructing an object, because well, number one, ESLint recommends it, so my room's gonna flash if it doesn't. And if you haven't seen it already, whenever there's an ESLint error and I click save, like my room will like flash and tell me that. We set that up a little while ago, and yeah, it was just for a bit of fun. So now we have this button. We're not going to worry about any of the on-click stuff. We're just going to, we're just going to style it. And we're not going to worry about having multiple themed buttons. Like I see we've got a Twitter button down here, which is going to be like a blue button. We're not going to worry about passing in any colors and stuff just now as props. We're just going to simply make this button. So it's got a background of black and a text color of white, and then the font size is 17, and it's got a font weight. So let's see how we can do this, how quickly or how well we can do this without actually rendering the component first and having a look at it. I like to challenge myself on this. So we have a background color of black, and we have a text color of white, and then the border radius is probably going to be like 9 pixels or something. kind of weird. Let's have a look. So it looks like it's 8 pixels for these buttons. And then I use padding normally to define the height of these buttons, but this designer has kind of pushed the text to be the height of this button, which is kind of weird. So yeah, let's just move that down, and then we can see 9 pixels should be the padding top, and then it looks like around 15 pixels should be the padding left and right. So we can say padding 9 pixels, 15 pixels. Font weight was going to be medium, so 500. And then, is that all we needed to do? Is that all we need to do? That's the question. I feel like it could well be. It could well be. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm just going to be brave and throw it in. Okay, so we're going to have this button. And we're going to import the button, and then instead of this button component, we're going to have button. And then, yeah, basically what I was saying earlier in having the children or the label appear as a child instead of like passing it into a prop and then putting it in here manually is so that you can write out like the element sort of like just the normal HTML button. You would just do like button like this. I like to keep it close as possible to that, so let's say create a page. Now is that going to look anything like that? Let's have a look. Okay, so we forgot to add the font size. I knew there would be something. I knew there's always something. So font size is going to be 17 pixels, and that should do it really. So let's zoom out of here to 100%. Let's move it up so we can kind of compare the two. And then let's have a look at this. How's it looking? Okay, so if you imagine the icon here is going to be making it a little bit wider than it currently is. Yeah, it's similar. It's really getting there. So we've made a header, and how long have we been streaming for? So we've been streaming for 1 hour and 21 minutes now, and we've only made a header. So, but things are set up nice. Like we have a input component and we have a button component. And by the way, if you're wondering what this blue outline is, it's what I said. It's the outline of the input. For accessibility, we should always keep them on. Like a lot of designers like to just do like outline none, which will get rid of this outline when you're focused, which looks a lot nicer, but yeah, for accessibility it's not great. So I like to add maybe like a box shadow or my own box shadow around this. So maybe let's just have a play around with that. So let's have a focus. So on focus, which is where that outline will be applied, let's make a box shadow of maybe, let's not make it blur at all, so 0, 0. And then let's have it 2 pixels, and then let's just see what this does for now. I think that's going to make it blur, so I think we need to have 1 more 0 before. Okay, so we have like this black border, which doesn't look great, I know, but bear with me because now we have that. Maybe let's make this 1 pixel actually, and then we can actually layer box shadows on. So if we do 0, 0, 0 again, and then make it 2 pixels, it should be 1 pixel of red being shown after the 1 pixel of black. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, so you can see that you've got like a black border and a red border, and they're sort of layered on top of each other. So what I like to do is I like to make this white, and then I like to have maybe like 2 pixels showing of, let's have the theme colors, and let's have the grayscale and the lightest grayscale that we have and see what that looks like. Yeah, maybe let's make this a little bit darker. Okay, this looks nice to me. And then let's add a transition. Transition on the box shadow of 0.2 or 0.3. I like to have animations pretty fast. I don't like them taking up too much time, so let's stick with 0.2. And then, yeah, that just kind of feels a bit more alive. It feels a bit better. Cool, so unless you guys have any questions for me, I'm gonna probably end it now, have a little break, come back either later on tonight or tomorrow, depending on what I'm get up to, and make some more components. So I'll see you guys later on, I guess. I'm just about to end the live stream, you can come in.
Okay.
Basically this is what I made.
Oh yeah, let's see. Alright, cool, so we have the header and we have the search. No icon yet in the search bar.
Yeah, no. I said I'm not gonna do icons in this video because there's quite a few ways we can do these icons.
Oh, it's quite a complicated thing.
It's not complicated. It's that there's like 3 different ways to do it, and like one way isn't as good as one way isn't better than the other. It's just like, so I probably want to show all different ways maybe,
Yeah.
or like at least explain why I chose to do it a different way.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
that makes
just
sense.
not prepped to do that. So
Yeah, it looks good, man.
yeah, we got the header done.
Looking compared to the design right now, seeing the two next to each other, it looks like the reply icon should be a heavier font weight.
Yeah, well, fonts work differently on web than they do in design, like
Really?
in Sketch and Figma.
Shouldn't they look? But Figma is web, isn't it? There's a web app.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, this is like font weight 500, and this is medium font weight, and like 500 is like medium.
Yeah, but don't you
like,
want it to look? You want it to look the same, not be the same. Because the look is what's important. So maybe it should be 600, not 500.
I mean, yeah. Well, let's quickly try it out.
Yeah, see if it looks the same.
I normally do this stuff like after I've kind of played around with the entire site.
Yeah, you would have like a kind of design review or whatever, and like the designer would look at what you've done and go, oh yeah, that should
Okay,
be
so the logo is 600. So
oh, it's already 600.
maybe
Wow,
it should be
okay.
700.
Yeah, that looks more similar, do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
that looks the same. So maybe it should be like that then.
Yeah.
Okay, just my 2 cents there before we end.
Yeah, you come in last minute and it's like, oh, you did that wrong. But yeah, let's stop this and come back. So thanks everyone for watching and tuning in to this live stream, and I hope to see more coming soon.
See you later, guys.
Yeah.